Once upon a moonlit night in the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Emily, a college student eager to earn some extra cash, agreed to babysit for the Smith family. Little did she know that this seemingly ordinary night would unfold into a chilling tale she would never forget. As the clock struck 7, Emily arrived at the Smiths' home, greeted by Mrs. Smith's warm smile and a list of instructions. The couple, dressed for a rare night out, assured her that their baby, Lucy, was a sound sleeper and shouldn't give her any trouble. With bedtime approaching, they bid Emily farewell and disappeared into the night. As Emily sat in the dimly lit living room, she heard faint giggles and coos coming from the baby monitor. Assuming Lucy was simply stirring in her sleep, Emily brushed it off. However, the sounds became more peculiar, transforming into soft whispers that seemed to carry an otherworldly quality. Curiosity overcoming her, Emily tiptoed up the stairs, the creaking floorboards betraying her every step. As she entered Lucy's nursery, a shiver ran down her spine. The room was bathed in a soft, eerie glow, emanating from a long-forgotten music box on the dresser. Lucy lay peacefully in her crib, seemingly unaware of the strange atmosphere. Emily tried to dismiss the uneasy feeling and began to sing a lullaby, hoping to drown out the haunting whispers. But the whispers persisted, growing louder and more insistent. In a desperate attempt to silence the unsettling voices, Emily reached for the music box. As she touched it, the room plunged into darkness, and a bone-chilling gust of wind swept through. The whispers coalesced into a ghostly chant, and Emily felt a cold hand on her shoulder. Terrified, she turned to see a spectral figure, a grieving mother from long ago, trapped between realms. The ghostly presence revealed a heart-wrenching tale of a lost child and a broken lullaby, forever binding her to the nursery. Emily, paralyzed with fear, realized that she needed to free the tormented soul. Guided by the ghostly whispers, she pieced together the fragments of the broken lullaby and sang it with a trembling voice. As the last note echoed, the room returned to normal, the ghostly apparition fading away. Mrs. Smith returned to find Emily pale and shaken. Unable to articulate the supernatural events, Emily simply handed back the music box and left the house, vowing never to babysit again. The nursery remained eerily quiet, but those who listened closely claimed to hear the faint echoes of a lullaby on moonlit nights, a reminder of the haunted whispers in the nursery. The babysitter's reflection. On a stormy night in the small town of Ravens Hollow, Sarah, an adventurous teenager, eagerly took on a babysitting job for the Johnson family. The Johnsons were known for their old Victorian home, which had a mysterious history that locals whispered about in hushed tones. Unfazed by the rumors, Sarah was determined to prove herself as a responsible babysitter. As the clock struck midnight, the Johnsons bid farewell, leaving Sarah alone with their 2 sleeping children, Emily and Jake. The rain pounded on the windows, and the wind howled like a ghostly chorus. Undeterred, Sarah settled into the living room, engrossed in a book. The hours passed slowly, and as the clock approached 3 a.m., Sarah began to feel an inexplicable unease. She attributed it to the storm outside and brushed off the feeling. To distract herself, she decided to explore the peculiar antique mirror in the hallway. As she gazed into the ornate glass, the reflection of the room seemed to distort. Startled, she blinked and tried to shake off the unsettling sensation. However, the reflection took on a life of its own, revealing a shadowy figure standing behind her. Terrified, Sarah turned around, but there was nothing there. She convinced herself it was a trick of the light and returned to her book. Yet, every time she glanced at the mirror, she saw glimpses of the phantom figure. Curiosity mingled with fear, Sarah decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, she ventured into the dark recesses of the house, following the strange occurrences. Whispers echoed through the corridors, urging her to uncover the secrets within. In the attic, she discovered an old photo album that unveiled the tragic tale of a previous babysitter, Amelia, who had disappeared mysteriously decades ago during a storm much like the one outside. The album hinted at a supernatural connection between Amelia's vanishing and the eerie mirror. Determined to break the curse, Sarah confronted the mirror and spoke Amelia's name aloud. The room quivered, and a ghostly apparition of Amelia appeared in the mirror. She conveyed a message of longing and despair, pleading for release from the haunted reflection. With a surge of courage, Sarah recited an incantation she found in the album, breaking the mirror's curse. The storm outside intensified, but as the last words left her lips, the apparition faded, and the mirror returned to normal. Exhausted but triumphant, Sarah realized she had not only unraveled a dark secret but also freed Amelia's spirit. The following morning, the Johnsons returned to find a calm house and a reflective antique mirror with an untold history. From that day forward, the babysitters of Ravens Hollow shared stories of the haunted mirror, warning each other to tread cautiously during stormy nights, lest the spirits of the past be awakened once more. The Abandoned Mansion's Babysitter. In the heart of Mosswood Valley stood a mansion, its grandeur faded with time. Locals spoke of the house as if it were cursed, haunted by the tragedies of a bygone era. The Stewart Mansion, with its overgrown ivy and creaking gates, was a place most dared not approach. However, desperate for money, Emily, a struggling college student, accepted the daunting task of babysitting for the mysterious Mr. and Mrs. Stewart. As Emily approached the mansion on a moonless night, an eerie fog clung to the air. The couple, seemingly in haste, provided minimal instructions and hastily retreated, leaving Emily alone with the daughter, Amelia. The mansion's ancient walls whispered forgotten secrets, and the chilling wind seemed to carry the echoes of long-lost lullabies. Amelia, a solemn child with hauntingly wise eyes, led Emily through the labyrinthine corridors to her nursery. The room was adorned with vintage toys and dusty furniture, giving it an air of abandonment. As the clock struck midnight, Emily began to hear faint melodies, soft and mournful, as though the very walls were weeping. Unsettled but determined, Emily tucked Amelia into bed and tried to dismiss the strange occurrences. However, as the night deepened, the mansion came alive with inexplicable phenomena. Shadows danced in the corners, and ghostly whispers echoed through the halls. In a quest for answers, Emily delved into the mansion's history. She discovered a tale of forbidden love, betrayal, and a child lost to a tragic accident. The spectral presence of a grieving mother, unable to move on, seemed to linger in the very fabric of the mansion. Fueled by a mix of fear and compassion, Emily decided to unravel the mansion's dark secret. Guided by a series of cryptic clues she found in forgotten diaries, she ventured into hidden chambers and dusty libraries, piecing together the shattered fragments of the family's tragic past. As Emily approached the heart of the mystery, the mansion seemed to resist, its walls pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Amelia's whispers guided her through a secret passage to a long-forgotten room where a dusty music box sat atop an ancient chest. As she opened the chest, a ghostly figure materialized, the apparition of Amelia's long-lost mother. Tearfully, she recounted the tale of her untimely demise and the eternal separation from her daughter. The music box, a cherished possession, held the key to reuniting the spirits and breaking the mansion's curse. Emily, with newfound determination, played the haunting melody on the music box. The mansion trembled, and a spectral reunion unfolded before her eyes. Mother and daughter embraced in ethereal light, their anguished spirits finding solace at last. As dawn broke, the once menacing mansion stood silent and serene. The air, once heavy with sorrow, lifted, leaving behind a sense of peace. Mr. and Mrs. Stewart returned to find their home transformed, and a grateful Amelia, now free from the specter of her mother, greeted them with a smile. Emily, forever changed by the night's events, left Mosswood Valley with a pocketful of memories and the knowledge that sometimes, compassion and courage could dispel even the darkest of shadows. The Stewart Mansion, once shrouded in mystery, became a symbol of redemption, its haunted legacy replaced by a newfound serenity. The Midnight Intrusion. Amelia, a responsible high school senior looking to save for college, took on a babysitting gig for the Thompson family in the suburbs of Oakwood. The Thompsons were a seemingly ordinary family with two young children, Lily and Ethan. The job seemed straightforward, but little did Amelia know that this night would unfold into a harrowing experience she would never forget. The Thompsons left detailed instructions, and the children were put to bed without a fuss. As the night wore on, Amelia settled into the living room, flipping through TV channels to pass the time. The neighborhood was quiet, and a gentle rain tapped against the windows. Around midnight, the phone rang, startling Amelia. It was a disconnected call, but she brushed it off as a wrong number. Soon after, she heard a soft thud coming from upstairs, causing her to tense up. She hesitated for a moment, contemplating whether to investigate or dismiss it as a house settling. Concerned for the children's safety, Amelia cautiously climbed the stairs. Lily and Ethan's room was eerily silent, but the hallway light flickered ominously. As she approached the door, she noticed it slightly ajar, a sight she was sure she hadn't left it. Heart pounding, Amelia pushed the door open to find the room empty. Panic set in as she frantically searched the house, calling out the children's names. Just as she was about to dial 911, a muffled noise led her to the closet in the master bedroom. Opening the closet door, Amelia found Lily and Ethan huddled in fear, wide-eyed and trembling. Confused and relieved, she questioned them about what had happened. The children described a stranger entering their room, uttering cryptic phrases and gesturing for them to stay quiet. Realizing the severity of the situation, Amelia locked the bedroom door and called the police. While waiting for help, she comforted the shaken children, piecing together the events of the night. The disconnected call, the soft thud, and the ominous intruder painted a chilling picture. When the police arrived, they searched the house and the surrounding area but found no signs of forced entry or the mysterious intruder. The Thompsons, upon returning, were grateful for Amelia's quick thinking and the police's response. The incident left a lasting impact on Amelia, who became an advocate for neighborhood safety. The community rallied to install better security measures, and parents became more vigilant about screening unfamiliar phone calls. The Thompsons, forever grateful, considered Amelia a hero for her courage and quick actions that fateful night, turning an ordinary babysitting job into a tale of resilience and community solidarity. Title: The Cryptic Note. Haley, a college student seeking a summer job, took on a babysitting assignment for the Garcia family in the quiet town of Oak Ridge. The Garcias, a friendly couple with 2 children, Mia and Daniel, had planned a rare evening out. Little did Haley know that her night of babysitting would take an unexpected turn into the realms of mystery and suspense. As the evening progressed, Haley engaged in playful activities with Mia and Daniel, and the kids were soon tucked into bed. With the house peacefully quiet, Haley settled in the living room to catch up on some studying. The soft hum of the air conditioner and the distant chirping of crickets outside created a serene atmosphere. Around 10 p.m., Haley heard a peculiar noise, resembling footsteps, echoing from the hallway. Assuming it was just the house settling, she ignored it. However, moments later, a chill ran down her spine as she discovered a cryptic note slipped under the front door. The note, written in hurried handwriting, contained a series of mysterious symbols and an urgent message: danger. Keep them safe. Confused and alarmed, Haley tried to dismiss it as a prank or a neighbor's odd sense of humor. Nevertheless, a sense of unease lingered. As Haley hesitated over what to do, Mia and Daniel's bedroom door creaked open on its own. Fear gripped her as she rushed to check on the children. To her dismay, the beds were empty. Panicking, Haley retraced her steps, discovering another note in the hallway, this one more ominous than the last. Determined to unravel the mystery and ensure the safety of the children, Haley embarked on a search through the house, following the cryptic clues. Each note led her to another part of the Garcia residence, and with every step, the tension heightened. The final note guided Haley to the basement. Hesitant but resolute, she descended into the dimly lit space. In a hidden corner, she discovered Mia and Daniel, wide-eyed and clutching a dusty box. The box, when opened, revealed a collection of old family heirlooms, including a worn photograph of the Garcias' ancestors. As Haley examined the photo, the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The ancestors had faced a threat long ago, and their warning was passed down through generations. The cryptic notes were a desperate plea to protect the family from an unknown danger. Relieved to have found the children unharmed, Haley shared the discovery with the Garcias upon their return. Grateful for her quick thinking and determination, the family vowed to delve into their mysterious family history and the significance of the cryptic notes. The incident left Haley with a sense of awe and curiosity, and the Garcias, while still puzzled, felt a renewed connection to their family's past. The cryptic notes became a tale shared within the community, a reminder that sometimes, the answers to life's mysteries may lie closer to home than one could imagine. The haunting melody. In the outskirts of Greenfield, Emily, a seasoned babysitter, took on a job for the mysterious Ellington family. The Ellingtons were known for their grand Victorian mansion, a relic from a bygone era that cast an imposing silhouette against the moonlit sky. As Emily arrived, Mr. and Mrs. Ellington hurriedly left, expressing the urgency of their night out. The Ellington children, Emma and Jacob, were well behaved, and bedtime approached without incident. As Emily settled into the living room, the ancient grandfather clock in the hallway chimed midnight, signaling the beginning of an inexplicable series of events. A soft melody, hauntingly beautiful yet unsettling, drifted through the house. Perplexed, Emily followed the sound, which seemed to lead her to an antique piano in the parlor. The piano keys played by invisible hands, creating a spectral symphony that echoed through the halls. Despite her apprehension, Emily felt drawn to the music and decided to investigate. The mansion, once silent, now pulsed with an otherworldly energy. The melody led her to a dusty library, where a forgotten journal lay open on a worn mahogany desk. As Emily leafed through the pages, the story unfolded, a tragic tale of unrequited love, betrayal, and a piano gifted by a broken-hearted musician to the Ellington family. Legend had it that the piano played on its own, channeling the spirits of the past. Compelled to uncover the truth, Emily continued her search. In the dimly lit attic, she stumbled upon a collection of old sheet music, each piece carrying the essence of the mansion's tormented history. Among the dusty notes, she found a song that matched the haunting melody she had heard earlier. As she played the music on the piano, the atmosphere in the mansion shifted. Shadows danced along the walls, and a ghostly figure materialized, a sorrowful musician from the past, forever bound to the haunting melody. The spirit, with tearful eyes, thanked Emily for unlocking the music that had kept it captive for decades. With a final, melancholic chord, the spirit dissipated, leaving the mansion in profound silence. The once foreboding Ellington residents now exuded a sense of peace, as if the weight of the past had been lifted. When the Ellingtons returned, Emily shared the eerie encounter. Surprisingly, the family was not shocked. They had long suspected the presence of a ghostly pianist. Grateful for Emily's intervention, they embraced the newfound serenity in their home. Word of Emily's ghostly encounter spread throughout Greenfield, turning the Ellington mansion into a local legend. The haunting melody, once a harbinger of tragedy, became a poignant reminder of the power of empathy and understanding, proving that sometimes, the echoes of the past can be set free with the right touch of compassion.